Hello and welcome to Big Old Games unboxing video of the new Star Wars Armada expansion, the Imperial Assault Carriers. My name is Simon and I'll be doing the unboxing today. So this is the new expansion for Armada. It introduces a new type of ship, if you will, which is the Flotillas. So what I'm going to do is open it up and show you what's inside. So rather than watching me cut through a box, here's one I opened up earlier. So like I said, this introduces the new Flotilla. So you get these two little ships on one base, and I will show you the miniatures throughout the video. Anyone who's played X-Wing will recognise this as the Gazanti carrier. So it should be somewhat familiar to you. So you get the small base for the two ships to go on. You've got a stand that puts both the ships on there, so they sit on there together. So you get in here just a quick explanation of the components list of everything you get in here. There's a few upgrade cards in here, not as much as you get in a big expansion, but still a fair few. And the explanation for the Flotillas. So they, as it says, they follow the same rules as other ships with one exception. The exception being if they overlap another ship or overlap by another ship, you deal a face down damage card to the Flotilla, but not to the closest ship the Flotilla overlapped. Basically because they're so small they only damage themselves, not someone else. They also have battery armament with a blank value. So it has no dice, so it generates no dice at all. Why that's important is you can't then add to no dice. And the upgrade icon is the Fleet Support, which is a new type of upgrade icon for them. So let's take a look at the bits and pieces you get in here. Now, as always, you're going to get lots of tokens. It is a Fantasy Flight Games product after all. So let me just work my way into there. I'll come to the cards in a moment. So here you have your fleet ship token, on there. You can see the arcs. It's quite a broad front and rear arc, but then you're not really going to be shooting much with one blue die on each and nothing on the rear. These ships are not designed for shooting, so just bear that in mind when you're looking at these. What they're made for is supporting. So here we have the two different ship cards. We have the Gazanti class cruisers and the Gazanti class assault carriers. So there's only 5 points in them, 23 points to 28 points. And the primary difference, so the cruiser has a black anti-squadron dice with blue dice for any attacks. And then the assault carrier has a blue anti-squadron and a single red on the front. So it can actually, there's a potential to do a damage. Like I said, these ships are not designed to be shooting. They've both got the same upgrade slots as well. So it's just flavour for choice, I guess, on those ones. But I imagine it will be the cheaper version you'll pick more often than not because you'll want room for those upgrade cards. So you get in here a new Admiral, which is General Tag, or Taj, depending on how you want to pronounce it, and I'm terrible at pronouncing names. At the start of the 3rd round and the 5th round, each friendly ship may recover one of its discarded defense tokens. Useful if you're using some of the upgrades and stuff that cause you to discard tokens, or if you've been taking some of the criticals that might force you to discard them. And 25 points not too bad. I think it's one that's not going to be utilised heavily by the Imperials because there's a lot of contention for some of the best ones out there. Whether you want it's just so many good choices out there. Tarkin being my preferred favourite, very expensive but such a good ability, so it's not a bad general, but I don't think he's going to see a lot of play. Agent Callus, so he's a 3-point upgrade, and while attacking a unique squadron, add 1 die of any colour to your attack pool. So that's an interesting choice for a ship to have. Good at taking down some of those the bomber lists that have become quite popular. Then we have Vector, so this is a title. It's 2 points, and it's a squadron activation. The speed of each squadron without heavy you activate is increased by 1 to a maximum of 5 until the end of its activation. So as you can see, the TIE fighter is launching away. You can just help increase the speed of your squadrons, just get them a little bit further upfield. Suppressor, 4-point title. After an enemy ship ends its activation, if it is at distance 1 to 3, you may choose and exhaust one of its defense tokens. So this is fitting into its defense role nicely. However, it does require being a bit close, so just be careful because your ships only have 1 shield each. Jamming field, so this is part of the fleet support, it's 2 points. While the squadron at distance 1 to 2 is attacking or defending against a squadron, the attack is treated as obstructed, so they lose a die. That's really neat. Slicer Tools, 7 points. After you execute your maneuver, you may exhaust this card to choose an enemy ship at distance 1 to 3. You may choose a new command onto its top command dial. That's useful. I like that. That's messing with your opponent. Always a fun thing to do. Bomber Command Center, 8-point upgrade. While a friendly squadron with bomber at distance 1 to 5 is attacking a ship, it may re-roll 1 die. And there's anyone who's done attacking runs with bombers and rolled those blanks on the black dice will know it's very frustrating, so being allowed to make that re-roll gives you a better chance. And we have CommsNet. So 2-point upgrade, and after the reveal command dial step, you may remove 1 command token from the ship to assign a matching token to another friendly ship at distance 1 to 5. So good if you're keeping this at the back, practically as a cheerleader, just to generate some command tokens. So like I said, there's not a huge number of command cards, and a lot of it is to do with their new fleet support ability. So these ships are very small. They're very small to look at, so what I'm going to do is open this up, try and grab the stand out of here so I can show you what they look like with a bit more ease. So you can see it's sort of preset slanted. There we go. Grab it on there, and then that one in there, and there we go. So here are your Gazanti cruisers. You can see they're quite, compared to my finger, they're quite small. They are little ships. Managed to drop it, smooth moves. It's a good thing they're plastic and bounce. So yeah, as always with Fantasy Fight, plenty of detail on there. They've put the engine colour in, which is good. They haven't skimmed too badly on the details underneath either. And yeah, there's not a huge amount to say. The design we've already seen before in X-Wing, so I wouldn't have expected them to have the ability to dock the little TIE fighters underneath. That would have been crazy. But to give you an idea of size comparison, here it is with the TIE fighters. Now the TIE fighters look huge compared to these. If you do a top view, as you can see, you know, 3 of these equals 1 Gazanti practically. So you know they're going to look a bit silly next to the squadrons. Because the squadrons look huge, but then if the squadrons were to be properly to scale, they'd be tiny and you'd never be able to see them. So, and we'll compare it to a Victory class as well. As you can see, putting this touching side by side, they are tiny compared to the Victory class, utterly tiny. They really do look like sort of the support vessel. Also gives you an idea of how big a Victory would try and be in X-Wing, which is massive. So yeah, they really do fit the role of a support flotilla, don't they? So yeah. So there we go. That is everything you get in there. So it's an interesting idea to create these fleet supports. I think for now, with the upgrade cards available, they're going to be interesting to see how players utilise these. I've got some ideas milling around, but it's half and halfing between whether you want them right at the back, sort of cheerleading, or right up front with your squadrons activating and pushing them, freeing your bigger ships to do the heavy hitting. So there's a bit of a mixed bag for me at the moment. They need a lot of testing to see where they best fit and what their best role is. And again, I think you'll need the Rebel expansion as well to get the extra fleet supports, just to mix things up a bit as well. So yeah, so there we go. That is everything in the Imperial Assault Carriers expansion pack. So yeah, so remember, all the individual components you've seen here today can be bought and sold on our website, bigorbitcards.co.uk. Remember to like and subscribe. Check out my other Armada unboxings for the rest of Wave 3 and 4. Sorry, I can't seem to speak at the moment. For the rest of Wave 3 and 4. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them below. Other than that, I will see you next time. Bye.